very basic thing. So, and the area of 1 degree by 1 degree in Kanyakumari must be larger than the area in Kashmir. So, absolutely, what should I tell? Very important of calculating area or line, length of the line, particular linear object, length of linear object, area and what other parameters? Area and perimeter of any polygonal object in angular unit. They must be put into Cartesian coordinates with linear units, linear x and y. So, with this background, I want to conclude the first part of it. We will switch over to the scientific part of our understanding. Now, after spending, most of you have spent 6 or 7 years of service in Geological Survey of India and may not be working with GCM, NGCM project. So you may not feel it necessary to understand or recapitulate the science which have been taught in earlier days. But persons who are working in NGCM project must understand or revisit the scientific teaching of geochemistry. So I will go and, because it is necessary. Why it is necessary? It is necessary to understand particularly the secondary dispersion pattern in the field. Why it is necessary? Again I am telling, because your sampling media is mostly, you tell me, stream sediments. First of all, if you do not understand the secondary dispersion pattern, collection of stream sediments and their analysis and their correlation with the bedrock will be impossible for you. Okay? So we'll do that.
Sir, this regarding this projection UTM, like we use UTM, na?
UTM, yes.
So the conclusion is this: we use for better that locational accuracy.
Yes, locational accuracy. Locational accuracy. First of all, any accuracy locational, we have to take a larger scale of map. Second thing, projecting the map. Why in GIS? What is the problem? In GIS, you need to calculate. Initially, you have to only visualize and put into map. Nobody used to ask you what is the total area occupied by quartzite or granite. For calculation of area, what do you need? I told you. You have to create a polygon. Its perimeter has to be calculated and its area has to be calculated. Because there are two polygons having same perimeter may not be having same area. Two polygons having same area may not be having same perimeter. So for in GIS, particularly in vector GIS, there are three things. One is the character of the objects. They may be point objects, line objects, polygonal objects. Second, the properties of the object, dimension of the object. Point does not have any dimension, line has one dimension, and polygon has two dimensions. If you go for three-dimensional geology or something like 3D modeling, you need to understand what is 5-dimensional also. Line does not have any geometrical property to be calculated. This is very important. Point does not have any geometrical properties to be calculated. When you go to the attribute table and calculate geometry. For point, you cannot calculate any geometry because there is non-dimensional. For line, you need to calculate only the length and your position and direction also will be. You can calculate also the direction of alignment. And for the polygon, you can calculate perimeter. So these all geometrical calculation will be invalid if you do not have a Cartesian coordinate system. Now nowadays, starting from remotely sensed data, which has been dissipated from different sources or which is acquired from different sources, are put into UTM projection system or GCS non-projected, but having same spheroid WGS. So all data of special data should have two things. One is projection system and spheroidal information or geoidal information for the Z value calculation. So it has got universal. Why it is universal transfer marketer? the name itself says universally accepted for its ease of calculation and versatility. Because with this projection system, starting from 80 degrees south to 80 degrees north is calculated with highest accuracy level, highest possible accuracy level. Okay, but the countries which are located beyond 80 degree and below 80 degrees south and above 80 degree north is very difficult to calculate. So, this is one thing. Your Geological Survey of India has also adopted compilation of data in UTM projection system. Your Survey of India are providing you open series map projected in UTM projection system, and therefore you observe certain variation in the location and shape of the polygon different from the earlier polygonic projection system map provided by Survey of India. Problem was that Survey of India never supplied with the data, special data.